So today, guys, we're going to be talking about the Singaporean ghosts, okay, and their ban us here. Go back to Singapore. I'm joking. We need you. We need you for the podcast. And so we're going to start talking about the national service, and you guys were in the army, right? So which year, Vivek?
I was in the army from 2020 to 2022.
Oh my God, 2 tahun.
2 tahun. Harus 2 tahun.
Why? Why so lama? You ngapain 2 tahun?
Well, I mean, the first like 4 or 5 months is your normal basic training in the army. Then after that, you specialize into a job.
Okay, and you can't pick anything, can they choose?
No, it's chosen for you. You can't pick anything.
You, Janak, which year?
2017, 2019,
Wah, tua.
greatest years of my life. I love serving my country. I loved every moment
Careful
of
what
it.
you say. We love serving the army.
Yes, I die for my country.
So you guys are specialized in what? Indian.
I jumped around different jobs. I never finished with a
Why?
proper thing because I had an injury on my foot. So I had to
Oh, what
skip
happened?
this or that. Playing basketball in the army and I fell.
Nothing ghost related.
No, that one wasn't ghost related.
You?
I ended up as a combat engineer in the chemical, biological, radiological explosives.
Jadi you suruh ngapain di situ?
Just blow shit up, bro. Blow shit up.
So where is it? Where did you guys go?
It's an island called Tekong that's just off the coast of Singapore, like a 20-minute ferry ride.
How many of you guys usually per batch?
Lots,
Ooh.
lots, yeah.
So, okay, there's 4 schools, and in each school there's about 7 to 8 companies.
Yeah.
And each company there's about 4 floors, which is 4 platoons.
Huge building.
Yeah, and then each platoon has 3 sections, and each section is about 16 people.
yeah, 16.
About 16 to 18 people. I was in school 4, which is the oldest one. This is the most haunted.
No way. Okay, you Janak?
I was in school too, Jaguar Koi.
Okay, ada different animals name, is it atau apa?
Centurion.
Oh, okay, so it's
And then
different.
school 1 and school 2, I think, were based on animals. Mine was Jaguar.
Oh.
J-Koi, Jaguar Koi.
Is it as dirty and haunted as his
I think
school?
his one is a bit worse.
Congratulations, Vivek, for
Thank you.
that.
It was a good
Okay.
experience.
So before you guys actually experience things, on your own, did you guys hear anything before that? Like from Jakarta, anyone else who went to the army? Your friends, your family?
I had a couple cousins and a few friends who went to the army before me, so they told me, a few of the lore stories, or they just kind of told me what to expect in the army.
Including the ghost stories, especially that.
Yeah, I mean, growing up, you hear stories here and there, yeah, but I didn't really know what to believe or how much to believe of it.
But were you scared? Did you guys have a bit kayak, aduh, 2 tahun, I have to be here?
I was born ready. I was born ready. In fact, there was this one story that they told us that this guy would go to sleep and his friend would give him a cup of Milo, right? And then
I
he
don't
would
think you can say
fall
that
asleep.
story. Get your hand
No,
off.
I want to know. Producer, you can cut this out later, but I want to know this Milo story. Got it. So what did you hear, Wake, before, joining the army from your family, like you said previously?
My dad had a couple of ghost stories, so he told me those growing up. And especially I would go to Singapore every once in a while for some document work, and I would read or hear a couple of stories from the locals. So, and some of my cousins who were there.
What was the story? What was the scariest one?
My father's? Okay, forgive me if I get some details mixed up. It was a long time ago,
You're
but
forgiven, bro. You're forgiven.
basically in field camp is where you stay in the jungle for 7 days and 6 nights. And so where all the trainees stay basically is they stay in a campsite in a full flat land, and it's completely dark. No lights, nothing whatsoever. You have to rely on your own torchlight basically.
And forest, no street lights,
Yeah,
whatever.
all
complete.
forest. And then the main camp where all your sergeants stay, all your higher ups, that is about like a kilometer away.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, so you're kind of separated from the higher ups.
Okay.
How often do you guys have to do this? Sorry, I'm cutting you.
This is just 1 week out of your 4 months. So basically, he went to sleep one of the nights, and he closed his eyes right before bed. And mind you, he has no history of sleepwalking, sleep talking, nothing.
No, nothing. Paralysis,
And
whatever. Okay.
he blinks, and next thing you know, he's about a kilometer or 2 away from his camp, like down the hill near some river. Like he was like near the steps into the river, basically.
Like someone took him there. Or
Yeah,
something.
like someone had walked him there without him realizing. So basically, he gained consciousness, seeing like the stars above him, and he was like, "Where the hell am I?" So he found himself like a kilometer away. So he started panicking. He's like, I need to go back. So he starts freaking out and he runs all the way back to his the camp basically. And the sergeant told him just pray, sit down, and go to sleep. Just forget anything that happened.
That probably is like the thing they would do all the time kan. Kayak udahlah, like even if you guys address it to them, they would be like
Just
ignore
brush it
it.
off. They just
Yeah,
brush it
They're
off.
nonchalant about it. They're probably used to it because they do it every day. Stuff like that.
I guess their whole thing is don't give it more attention than it needs to
Power
be.
juga,
Yeah,
yeah,
just
yeah.
ignore it.
Okay, I got it. Anything else from like your family or cousin or?
They just wanted me to raw dog it. So
Oh,
they just
went,
said, don't
went
look
fully,
up.
fully blind.
Fully blind. They just said, be careful, don't look up at the trees.
Okay, so how was it like your first week? Did you experience anything? Your first month, or it took a while before you guys experienced something in the camp?
First 2 weeks, I couldn't sleep. First 2 weeks, I didn't really see anything, but I couldn't sleep. I always felt like someone was watching me through the window.
Aduh.
It's just, they have that one window in the corner, and I just couldn't look at it. And even if I'm facing the other way, I just felt like someone's looking at me through the window. And then the trees, the moonlight casts a shadow on the trees into the room, and then it's just like weird in the room.
Did you guys experience something, or did you like hear your friends experience something baru you guys?
I had one of each.
So which one happened first, you or your friend?
Oh, I don't remember which one came first, but I remember mine a bit more vividly. So mine was also in field camp.
Okay. This is the scariest part of camp ya kayaknya.
Okay, so to put it in context, it's extremely dark. It's an entire basically section of the jungle where there's no light at all. You can only basically at night, the moment the sun goes down, you rely on your torchlight. So you don't have that, you're screwed. You can't see your hand in front of you.
Nothing.
It's fully dark.
Nothing.
And the first night, as the sun was going down, my sergeant told all of us to get our flashlights out and prepared. And we don't go in these missions without making sure we have everything. So I knew I was supposed to have my torchlight, but put my hand in my pocket. Lo and behold, it's gone. I'm like, okay, maybe I dropped it somewhere. Everyone around me helped look for it. Cari cari, nggak ada. And the worst part is, I was not even the place I had to set up my dig my shell scrape is where we stay. It's a hole in the ground basically. Had to be away from everyone else. So I was alone basically in the entire stretch. Because we get 2 hours to dig it. As I was 1.5 hours in, I hit a big tree root. So I couldn't keep going. So they made me move. And there was no space with the rest of my section. So I was kind of in a stretch alone.
Damn.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why they disturb you because
Maybe.
like, I'll accompany him.
Yeah, I lost the flashlight. Everyone helped me look. I couldn't find it. So basically, for the next 6 nights, 6 nights after that, I was completely blind every evening. I basically learned how to do everything in the dark. Like I knew where everything was.
That is crazy.
Yeah, I just figured everything out.
Okay, and then?
So this is where I think it was a spirit and not just me being stupid. Because I didn't have it that night. I did not have it the rest of the nights, and I would keep checking my pocket in case maybe ada. I'm just stupid.
You guys pasti pakai kayak those cargo pants yang banyak pockets
We
and all
have
that.
what's it called?
Like a fanny pack?
No.
The vest.
Like a utility vest like that, where there's all the pockets, and the flashlight is supposed to be in a specific one. So I would periodically check that. Nothing. And the last day when we're doing our trek back to our main school. I had a feeling. I'm like, just check my pocket one more time. I put my hand in and I felt my flashlight, and I pulled it out. I'm like, where the hell? Even my friends looked at me. They're like, where did it come from? But it also felt heavy. So I opened my flashlight, and instead of batteries being where they were, it was just full of dirty water. No batteries. It was just full of dirty water. I poured out.
Friends playing a prank on you, tapi nggak mungkin ya in that position pasti they suffer if you don't have
Exactly.
the flashlight.
So
Yeah.
even if someone took it, how would they put it back in my thing without me noticing? It's a bit insane. So the only thing I could chalk it up to was something was messing with me. Yeah.
You should have asked it. Hey, you from where? And she like,
Marahin ya. Tapi like that's crazy sih. You Jenak, anything in the field camp?
field camp. I think only one. The scariest story I have in field camp was when it was our turn to do the rounds, guard duty or whatever. I can't remember what it was called. me and my buddy were walking with the lowly dim flashlight, and then just like a black shadow, like a humanoid figure, but on all fours, just ran
Damn.
across us, and we could feel like the wind, and we
Damn.
could see like the outline just run in front of us.
See, like, was it like?
We saw the outline, but it was too fast. But it was huge. It was huge. Yeah,
Like bigger than you guys.
a bit bigger than us, I think. But yeah, it had like arms, just the outline of arms and legs. But it was like on all fours, but at the same time, it was also upright a bit. So it was weird. And then we just felt the wind, and then it was gone, and then no wind at all.
How did you react to that?
I don't know. We just stood there for a while, and then we just kept walking.
Fair.
But are you guys supposed to go in pairs anyway?
Yeah.
You have to.
The army uses a buddy system.
And you were not the only one who saw it. He saw it as well,
Yeah, he
right?
also saw it. He also saw it. We just stood there in silence for like a minute, and then we just said,
But what about the building?
I think like most stories people hear is you will see a shadow walking around. You'll see.
Oh my god, they're so used to this. Yeah, this is.
Yeah. No, even from years ago, my dad had a story in the buildings. They would hear Japanese soldiers marching outside like the dorms or near the toilets.
Did you guys experience that? Did you guys hear as well?
I didn't.
"Hear what?"
Like Japanese soldiers.
Oh, I saw it. I saw it like at night
You
once
saw it. Oh
in
my
my unit.
god.
I don't know what I saw. I wasn't wearing my glasses, but I got up and I heard shouting in a different language, and then I went to see through the window, and I saw like a bunch of people marching.
At midnight?
But they were like 1, 2, I think. But they were wearing white uniforms, and we only see white uniforms for like parades and stuff,
Yeah,
right? So I was
it's
very
a special.
confused.
Yeah.
I thought they were doing some parade practice. I was like, why are they doing it at 1?
Maybe bukan my business lah. Like some.
But it was in different language and it was weird. So then I asked them the next morning, like, why?
But was it
anyone-
vivid or was it like a bit vague?
It was a bit blurry for me because I wasn't wearing my glasses and I was so sleepy. So I just saw and then I just went back to sleep. So then I asked them the next morning and they were like, was it like in a different language? I said, yeah, I didn't understand what they were saying. And then they said, oh, there's like a Japanese graveyard behind Selarang camp.
Who did you ask this to? Not your friends, like the
the
sergeant.
sergeant. I asked the sergeant, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
so they're actually kind of open about it juga ya. Like among these things happen and everything. Cuman itu gila sih. Like you guys are actually hearing something and you guys are seeing figures passing by and everything. Anything else? Did you guys experience anything else?
I think in the bunk in Tekong, the scariest thing that happened to me was I woke up. I was top bunk. I woke up. I heard a girl crying. So I looked over to the next bunk on my right, and on the lower bunk, at the foot of the bed, there was a girl, a school girl. She was wearing school clothes, and she was just sobbing. She was just sobbing like that. She was sobbing. She was sobbing. I was like, okay, this is fucked, right?
You
So I go up just-
to her and be like, yo.
Damn, I wasn't gonna go up to her.
They want to make a friend at night. Yeah, what's up?
Why are you crying?
Where you come from, ah?
Wait, you're not from here.
Where
What?
your father?
Did you guys like langsung tidur? Did you sleep langsung or did you like, oh, let me see again, bling, see her? Or
No, I didn't want to look again. I didn't want to look again. I just turned around. I could hear a bit, and then I stopped hearing, but I didn't want to look back.
that's crazy. You, Wick?
I mean, for me, it was like at 3. Okay, basically, we have sergeants that like do their checks at like 12:01 to check if you're asleep. Yeah, nggak ada yang pakai HP gitu.
Pacaran ya. Ya kan, we never.
Fair.
Nggak tahu kan.
Milo.
So at like 3 or 4, I think 3 in the morning it was. I woke up and the way the room is that all the bunk beds surround a table in the middle,
Ada table segini.
like a big
Bigger
table.
table.
So for in case everyone should have a meeting like that. So we're all surround the table, and so I just woke up and I had this feeling just to like get up basically and look in front of me, and I saw like a black figure enter the room. This black figure just kind of walked around the table, did a couple like loops, and I was confused because okay, let's say it is our it was like this hazy black figure, and even if it is one of our sergeants, if they saw me awake, they'll come and ask me if I'm okay. Like, but this just kept going and going and going, and
But in that part when he was like, clockwise or anti-clockwise, when he was looking at you, did you eye contact or something?
they didn't look at me. It just kept going around, and I just saw it, and I decided, nope, not my business.
That ain't
Not
right. That
yeah,
ain't right.
not my clown, not my circus.
I think your blankets would be really useful because
Yeah, so I just
bye.
I laid back down and went to sleep basically. And so, but the next morning, so basically each section has their own sergeant. So I asked him, I'm like, did you come into the room at any point at like 3 in the morning? He's like, no. But someone else also asked me if I did.
In your room?
Yeah,
or?
in my room. So
Okay.
I went to my friend. I'm like, did you also see what I saw? He's like, yeah, I saw something enter and walk around the room,
You
like
could
around
hear
the
the
table.
door creaking and stuff like yeah, ada yang masuk.
Yeah, so yeah, basically we both saw the same black thing and then it just disappeared.
We heard a girl crying, another girl crying in the toilets while the shower was on.
You heard.
I heard, me and my buddy heard, like at 3 maybe, I don't know. And then we went and we were banging on the door, we were knocking, but we could still hear the crying and the shower was still on. So we went to the next bunk, called a few guys to come out, see what's happening. Still couldn't get it open. And then we went and we called more people, and suddenly the crying was gone. No more crying, but the shower was still on. And then somebody just tapped the door like that, and the door just opened.
Buka.
And then the
Ooh,
shower was still
shit.
on, and then it stopped. And the shower can only come on when you hold the thing.
Yeah, it's a press and hold shower.
For like a few seconds and then you have to press it again. That is
So
so
that means the
scary.
fact that
And
it
you
kept
got
going means something was holding it
Something
down.
was
holding,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
you
yeah.
guys kept trying to bang, but you nggak bisa masuk, and
Couldn't
suddenly.
open it. Suddenly someone just tapped it open like that.
Did you tell your sergeant about this story or udah percuma ya kayaknya juga kayak what would they say
Because it
anyway?
was like so many of us, so we know what we saw, we know what we heard.
Okay, so they're basically showing up like they're showing themselves to you guys and stuff like that. But do they do like extreme things like touching, like or the properties, or do they break anything?
I think one story I heard before I experienced these things when I already enlisted was somebody brought pork into the bunk and put it in the locker. And then in the middle of the night, the locker was shaking really hard.
Damn.
So he went to open the locker, but nothing was there. It stopped shaking, and then he looked up, and then like a lady was squatting on top of the locker, just looking at him.
What do you do at that point, man?
don't know.
What? You can't even go back to sleep.
Did the locker break or something?
No, locker didn't break. But also another time I saw when we were all gathered outside the building, we saw an old man walk up the stairs and go into my bunk, which was locked because you're supposed to lock it before you come down and gather downstairs.
Okay.
So he just walks in, and then we freak out. So we all chase after the guy, go up to the bunk, and obviously there's no one there. But somebody's locker, which is also meant to be locked, is open, and the mirror in the locker is shattered, and the pieces are on the floor.
No, energy is super strong because they're damaging things and they're showing up terus-terusan ya. Like, how many times would you guys experience like 1 week once?
Maybe I experienced like 5, 6 the whole few months.
Yeah.
Not that many.
Or like you'll hear something, someone else experienced this, someone experienced that.
What
yeah.
about your friends? Anything crazy?
I was doing a workout outside the bunk. I was doing pull-ups outside the bunk, and then I walked back into the bunk, and my buddy on the lower bunk, because I'm top bunk, he's lower bunk. He just does this. I think he does something like this. He tries to stop me, and then he does this, and then he like slowly looks up. And then he looks at me, and he was like, "What the fuck, bro? I thought you were up the whole time." Just the
Mabok ya?
bed. I don't know.
He came up to you and he was just doing this to you.
Yeah, so my bed was first, like the first two bunks. So I walk in, and he just tells me to wait, and he slowly looks up. He says that the bed was shaking. He thought I was up there because the bed was shaking. He thought maybe I was like turning or something. He thought I was up there, but then I walk in, and he sees me walk in.
That is so crazy. So you guys are used to this at
I
that
guess.
point.
I mean, you kind of just have to accept it.
No matter
There's
what,
nothing you
yeah.
can do, you
When
just
you
walk
guys,
there.
when you guys reached Jakarta and everything, did you experience? Did anything follow you? Did you feel anything?
Nothing.
Once you're done in Singapore or
Follow? No,
something. So
not
not just that
really.
particular place, this Tekong is basically the one yang emang udah very famous for all this. Anything else your friends experienced or something?
In field camp also, when you want to use the restroom, you have to go into the jungle and relieve
Berdua.
yourself. But you have to take a buddy with you, and you're supposed to say excuse me before you relieve yourself.
Who told you this part?
Yeah, it's like here, when you piss on a tree, you have to say, "Maaf, anak babi mau kencing" or something.
I
Right?
don't,
think you have to say
that's
anak
the
babi.
phrase. I don't think that's the phrase. But here kan kalau di Indonesia it's famous. Makanya
Yeah.
I bingung siapa yang kasih tau, like who told you about that one?
It's just
They do it as well there.
all the higher ups will pass it down, like so
Okay.
everyone learns it.
Because here you have to do it everywhere apparently. In
So
uni.
you say excuse me or I'm sorry, like just like basically ask for permission to do what you want to do. And so one of the times my friend didn't do that. He didn't say excuse me, and while he was doing his business, he just looks into the distance, into the trees, and he sees this human-shaped thing. I was not. The way he described it. It was.
Ini bukan figure atau shadow lagi ya. Udah
He
human.
saw something. He saw it was a human shape, but the thing was not a human, and it was just staring at him.
But why did he specifically say ini bukan human?
You know what he should have said? Hey, stare what stare?
What does that mean? I need context. What
It's
does
like
that mean?
English for like.
What are you looking at?
Yeah, what are you looking at? Why are you staring at me like that?
Scary ya, Jenak, you berani banget ya. You're a bit too berani. No, but apa? Kenapa nggak human? Mukanya serem, is it, or something?
He said the face was deformed, the hair was like red, it was like flowing, the hair. He had a vivid description of it. So we're all like, after this, we're gonna make sure to ask for permission. Yeah. So he had a whole. So the face was like, it clearly wasn't human. Basically, the hair was red. It was squatting in the branch of a tree, watching him. Yeah. So not sure what it was, but that's what he experienced.
So when you guys experience something traumatic like this, you become super close down to your friends. Are you still in touch with any of them, gitu? Especially your buddy. Kan you kemana-mana berdua, right? You're supposed to go berdua.
Yeah,
and
you
stuff.
have to spend basically if your buddy wants to go to the bathroom, you go to the bathroom. If you want to do anything,
Okay.
you have to bring your buddy with you.
So do you have a story like Jenak because he experienced something berdua with his buddy, yang the black figure? You both saw it, right? Did you experience something like that juga?
With my buddy, not much, but I know like the story of why, or I guess what people say the story of the reason the buddy system exists.
Please.
This is just what I heard. Is back before the buddy system used to be a thing. So one guy decided to go to the bathroom at like 2 in the morning, 3, and something like that, in the middle of the night. So he goes to the bathroom and he sees someone else in the showers, like in the like toilet area. I'm not sure showers or toilet area, but someone was there. So he called out loud. He's like, "Yo, who's there?" And the guy who replies is like, "Was his but like the guy who he sleeps next to, basically." And I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm here." He said, "All right." So he did his business, and he said, "Bro, I'll wait for you outside."
Yeah, fair.
So he steps outside. He waits there 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Nothing.
Nggak
So no one.
keluar-keluar, okay.
Nggak keluar. So he
Aneh.
decides he'll go back to his bunk, and he goes back, and he sees his friend there, and he wakes up the guy. He's like, "Bro, I was waiting for you. When did you walk back?" He's like, "I've been asleep this whole time. What are you talking about?" So and the guy's like, "Oh, so who did I just speak to in the bathroom?" So they both went. Yeah, so they both went to the bathroom, and where the guy was, there was still a pair of legs, or there a pair of feet, but
They both saw it.
they both saw a pair of feet, but like the feet were the wrong way around. So one was still facing there, one was facing them. So clearly something. So after that, they both just ran away.
Kalau bowling pakai sepatu apa? Kayak gitu. That's crazy. Terus.
Yeah, so that's supposedly the reason why it exists. Yeah.
Okay, got it. Okay guys, so that concludes our episode today. Comment lebih serem ceritanya Jenak atau Vivek, and yang paling serem yang mana? Subscribe, like, comment, and see you guys in the next video.